Now design a multi-head Turing machine to accept palindrome strings. So this problem is multi-head Turing machine. So we'll be using a two-way infinite tape which is having here for multi-head we are going to assume that we are going to use two header. Okay. So you'll be having a blank. We are talking about palindrome string. Let us assume our sigma input alphabet is zeros and ones. So you'll be having 0, 1, 1, 0. So it is a palindrome string. We'll be placing that string in the tape, and initially both our headers H1 and H2 will be pointing to this blank. This is what is our assumption. Now what we can do is we will make one of the header to go to the extreme right hand side blank. Let it point to this blank. Now we'll try to move this header H1 one step right. Simultaneously we'll move this header H2 one step left. If both are pointing to the same symbols, we will traverse H1 from left to right and H2 from right to left. If both are reading the same symbols, then it means that it is a palindrome string. Then we can justify that whatever string that is placed in the tape is palindrome string. This is the logic we are going to follow in designing this multi-head Turing machine. Now, initially we are in one state, say Q0. So from here, now our H1 is pointing to blank. You replace that with blank, do nothing, because we need to traverse only H2 to the extreme right hand side. So when H2 is reading a 0, you replace that with 0, move towards right. Simultaneously, the same thing should happen when H2 is reading a 1 also. So when it is reading a 1, you replace that with 1, move towards the right hand side. Now this has to continue till what? Till the extreme blank comes. So when H1 is reading a blank, you replace that with blank and move towards right hand side. And H2, when it is reading a blank, replace that with blank and move towards the left hand side. Now we are in the correct position. Now our H2 is pointing to the last and the H1 is pointing to the first blank. Now after that we need to check. Now how to check? If H1 is reading a 1, replace that with 1 and move towards right, because H1 should move from left to right. So H2 also, if H1 is reading a 1, it has to read a 1 only. Or replace that with 1 and move towards the left hand side. Okay. The same thing should happen for when H1 header is reading a 0. H2 also should read a 0 and move towards the left hand side. Now this continues until your H1 is reaching the extreme right hand side. Now your H1 should point to here and your H2 should go till this point. So at that point we can halt. Blank and halt. This is going to be our final state, QF. Now we are traversing H2 to the extreme right hand side first, and every time this H1 is pointing to some symbol, the same symbol should be pointed in the reverse order, that is from the right to the left. So this is what we are checking and this is what is our logic. And so we have successfully designed a Turing machine, that is multi-head Turing machine, to accept palindrome strings.